And I also have an official citation from the General. I'd like next to call Mr. Twistleton Bertrand. And again, we have an official citation from the General Assembly as well as a citation from the Governor of the State of Maryland and a letter from the Lieutenant Governor. And part of it reads, many years ago you answered the call of duty by joining the British Army to fight tyranny during World War II. You and your fellow soldiers' efforts to ward off German U-boat attacks in the southern Caribbean seas were invaluable in securing the victory of the Allied nations. Moreover, I commend you for your continued service in both the government of Dominica and Canada. And again, this is from the Lieutenant Governor of the State of Maryland, Anthony Brown.
And good evening, distinguished people. It's an honor and privilege to stand here tonight to represent my brother and to stand in his shoes. But the shoes is so big that it will take 5 lives to fit in them. My brother Twistleton Bertrand would have given up almost anything to be here among you tonight. But the Lord had other plans for him. His sister, my sister, Justice Sylvia Bertrand, was buried today on the island of Dominica. Well, he could be no other place but with her to bid her last farewell. I spoke with him just this morning, and he asked that I grace all of you with his thanks and blessings, and special thanks especially to Gabriel Christian and Justice Irvin Andre. I thank you.
I'd now like to call His Excellency Philip Louis Ehrlich Cross. Again, in part from the Lieutenant Governor, Anthony Brown, from the State of Maryland. Many years ago, you answered the call of duty by joining the Royal Air Force to fight tyranny during World War II and led 80 missions over occupied Europe and Germany. This demonstrated your commitment to your country and fellow airmen. Moreover, I commend you for your continued service to the community as judge and later as ambassador on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago to Germany and France. And again, this is written by Anthony Brown, who's our Lieutenant Governor in the State of Maryland, and also, of course, of Caribbean descent. We also have an official governor's citation and also a citation from the Maryland General Assembly.
At this time, we have one of the proclamation, and that will be given by Michael Herman, who is the Chief of Staff of the Office of the County Executive.
Madam Ambassador, you said earlier tonight in talking about people of Caribbean descent, you talked about the people who look like us and the people who want to look like us. Guess which category I fit in? I'm often confused with our county executive. He's a couple inches taller than I am. He's also African American, but it is indeed an honor to be with everybody here tonight. There have been so many beautiful speeches, and I don't think that there's anything that I can say that would much add to the words of Madam Ambassador and Baroness for your lovely tribute to these heroes that we honor today. But I will say that on behalf of the County Executive, Jack Johnson, who could not be with us this evening, he's out of town, he feels very strongly, and Delegate Braveboy spoke of that. We are so blessed here in Prince George's County. This mosaic of multiculturalism is an incredible place. It's one of the most unusual social experiments, not just in America, but in the entire world. And to be so blessed tonight to have not only military honorees of just such impeccable order, but to also bring together so many ambassadors into this room says something very important about this auspicious occasion as been referred to earlier tonight. I want to thank Gabe Christian, a good friend, and Judge Andre for putting this together, and all the people who helped contribute to this, and all the people from Andrews Air Force Base. Because here at Andrews, we recognize that military service is sometimes the price that we have to pay, and we often say that freedom is not free. And tonight we honor not just 4 individuals who understood that the price of freedom is not free and stepped up into the call, as you talked of, Baroness, who volunteered, who did not ask but came because they knew that they needed to be done. This is indeed an honor for me to be here with you tonight and to present proclamations. I'm going to do something that I'm sure is going to violate every international protocol under the planet. And what I'm going to try to do is ask Madam Baroness and all of our honorees or their representatives to please come up so I can collectively do proclamations, so to make this evening move a little smoother. If you would all please come forward. I'm sure there's a protocol officer here, and if I've made a mistake, I humbly apologize. I'm just a lawyer, okay? I'm going to read one. I'm actually not going to read it in its entirety, but I'm going to read the operative language for it. Whereas the Office of the County Executive for Prince George's County, Maryland, wishes to recognize these various individuals during the Caribbean Glory Tribute and Caribbean American Heritage Month celebration. And whereas the Caribbean Glory Tribute honors World War II heroes who honorably served in various capacities throughout the war, and I would say that more than 16,000 West Indians volunteered for service alongside the British during World War II. The men and women who sacrificed their lives to protect the honor and the fellow neighbors and to lend their neighbors and land are commendable and will forever be remembered in history. Whereas the Caribbean American community has contributed immensely to the political, social, economic structure of Prince George's County and to its development while promoting multicultural diversity. And whereas this event represents the tremendous success of the Caribbean American community and honors many of its World War II heroes, now therefore I, Jack Johnson, County Executive of Prince George's County, Maryland, do hereby recognize and congratulate these individuals for their honorable service in World War II and the example they have set for the Caribbean American community of the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area during this Caribbean American Heritage Month on this 19th day of June 2009. And further, I extend best wishes for a most enjoyable celebration. Signed and sealed this day by Jack B. Johnson, Prince George's County Executive. Congratulations to all of you. I'm going to violate another really big international protocol. Would all of the ambassadors and Madam Ambassador, all of the ambassadors, please step forward during this presentation. I believe it would be a wonderful tribute to them to be pictured with you as well. Okay.
We'd like to ask the Baroness to come, and we'll be presenting some awards to the last set of awards. This is the last set to the honorees, and Judge Andre and
It's a great privilege to be asked to hand out the last of the awards, the last but not least, to each of our wonderful heroes. Can I just say that I forgot to mention something very important? There was no official monument to the sacrifice and dedication of the men and women who fought from the Caribbean for the United Kingdom until 6 years ago. Now, if you drive down Constitutional Hill, you'll see the most magnificent monument, and I have the privilege of driving through it every day. There are 4 columns, and on those columns is the acknowledgement that we were there. It's the monument for all these gentlemen, and it acknowledges, at last, the huge contribution which is made by the men and women who served in both World Wars from the Caribbean region. And I am very proud of that. The first award, therefore, reads, during Caribbean American Heritage Month 2009, we honour those British West Indians who valiantly served in World War II to ensure our freedom. And the first such award is to Wendell Mackenzie Christian. The next award, in similar terms, goes to Flight Lieutenant Dudley Thompson, QC, OJ, Royal Air Force. The next award is to my favorite debonair squadron leader, Philip Louis Ulrich Cross.